Welcome, newcomers and true believers alike. This is the Countdown to Doomsday, an MCU watch-along podcast packed to the brim with thrills and chills, twists and turns, and more supervillains than you can shake a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser at. I'm your host, Jake, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing co-ghost, Sammy. You
Ooh,
get it?
I
Because you're all
mean,
phasing in and out of reality all the
I thought it was because I'm going for the Victorian ghost era look.
time. I mean,
Um,
Ghost is like just not that gothy, really, is she? It's
nah,
it's an odd thing.
nah, not at all. Oh, we've made it to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, the sequel to Avengers
This,
Infinity War.
the sequel we never asked for.
I feel like it was just put on the slate and they had to go with it.
I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, but pretty much exactly that. I'll do the disclaimer and then
Yep.
we will open up Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mhm.
I'll say that with a bit more enthusiasm. Oh, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on the Facebook page. You can join the Nerdy Up North Discord, our socials, or the comment section where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behaviour out of nerdism.
Excelsior.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I have the development for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
Yes.
Peyton Reed, who directed original, he was really interested and expressed like a lot of interest in returning for a sequel.
Yeah.
Because he'd totally fallen in love with these characters, he understood the story, he understood how they could fit it in. And to be honest, that is pretty much how it went.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
Though like
literally it. Everyone else got on board. Michael Douglas really, really pitched the idea that his actual wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, play
Janet.
Janet Van Dyne. But it was Evangeline Lilly who then said, actually, Michelle Pfeiffer would be a better fitting role for this. And
Yeah,
they
she
went
was
with
like
her idea.
she was like Catherine Zeta-Jones does not look like my mother.
Well, this is all starting in June 2015 when Peyton says he's really interested in doing a sequel. And everyone else just went, yes, we're totally on board with that. But Kevin
Yeah.
Feige was like, could we do something different? And Peyton went, well, what about a standalone Hank Pym story,
Yeah.
which could kind of go along with the Marvel one-shots?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Didn't happen. Didn't go ahead. Um So they ended up just going with slating them in for after Infinity War and between Endgame, and the Russo brothers then had to step in to speak
Yeah.
to Peyton to make sure that nothing was kind of missed out.
Yeah. It's like a super tough one, isn't it? Because I almost feel like in hindsight, it would have been better for them to just leave a total gap.
Yeah.
It could have still been the same amount of time. And I think people would have been super like going crazy for Endgame because they would have
Mm.
had this massive cliffhanger. And then you just have to sit with nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we didn't. We got this.
No.
We got this one. So that really is the development. Not a great deal. It An idea happened, an idea flopped, and they just penned them in for here. But the Russo brothers obviously had to say, we need to know your story because
We need
you
to
need to
know.
fit it in
Yeah, and
for
you need
this.
to stick something on the end. That
Yeah.
kind of makes, I mean, not no sense, but it's odd. But yeah, like I definitely felt that. Just like that was my feeling coming out of this, like watching was like, oh, that nothing in this really gets followed up on again. Like
No.
not a lot of the stuff in our world gets like followed up on. Like Sonny Birch never comes back. You never find out who his dangerous buyer was that he mentioned, and like
Mm-mm.
takes a while for Ghost to crop up again and stuff like that. So they really dropped everything for a long
They,
time after this.
they did. obviously watching Thunderbolts
Yeah.
and then going back to this because I hated the Ghost character. I thought she was just totally and utterly pointless.
Yeah, like
Um,
bland, absolutely.
yeah, but then seeing her in Thunderbolts and it's like, oh, where the fuck where was that
Yeah.
when Ant-Man and the what you could have stole the movie. Um, so I was a bit, but what rewatching it, I got her a lot more.
Yeah, they were trying to play her as like a full-on scary villain. Like she wasn't like the most villainous, like in a
She
classical
wasn't.
sense.
She wasn't. Initially, so if I go all the way down to the bottom where conveniently my note is on Ghost, Ghost actually is a character who she was he sorry was
Mhm.
created in 1987. He is a dude.
Yeah.
So they did gender swap for this movie. He appeared in Iron Man issue 219. He was a genius inventor and hacker who wears a battlesuit that allows him to become invisible and entangled.
Mhm.
He's an anti-hero and he's been in the Thunderbolts. And that's as far as I know about him.
Oh, okay. So he's one that the fan base doesn't mind being gender swapped, just because
Because
he's
I
not at the
because I
same level
because I
of
don't
fame.
think anyone knows who it is.
Exactly.
Because I don't think they know who it is. And that's one new character we're introduced to in this film. The second one is obviously Lawrence Fishburne,
Yeah.
who is
What?
Dr. William Bill Foster,
Yeah.
known as Black Goliath or Giant Man or
Yeah,
just Goliath.
apparently the thing named him Giant Man. Like he suggested that name for him. Why don't you
And
call yourself Giant Man? You giant
because you're a
man.
giant man,
Yeah.
um, yeah, he is. If anyone has read Civil War the comics,
Mhm.
he's got a huge pivotal point in that. I don't know if he's back.
I think I mean I just did a quick Wikipedia read. It seems like he didn't properly come back a lot, or if
Oh
he has,
right.
it's been very sparse. He's usually just like played as a scientist type of character if he ever is back. But I don't know. There was something about like somebody like Norman Osborn stealing his bones or something to get the Pym particles out and stuff like that. So they've definitely messed with him since
Surely there's an
then.
easier way to get Pym particles than stealing a corpse.
I don't know. The super secret, aren't they? That's what he's always banging on about. Like, don't let them get my suit, like in these movies.
Well, Goliath gets killed in Civil War,
Yeah, and
which
it's like
obviously
a it's a turning point. It sways hearts and minds to Cap's team.
yeah.
Killed by a clone of Thor, which is odd and doesn't really come up again.
You got to read the comic like to
Yeah,
to get. You'll get it if you read the comic.
it's all Tony's fault, everyone.
Always Tony's fault. Yeah, so we introduced the two new characters. We have returning characters with the crew
Oh yeah,
who love, absolutely
yeah.
love.
And they don't
Um,
overuse them or anything in this. They're in it like
no,
perfect amount.
yeah, and I just love the fact that David Dastmalchian is still there.
Yeah,
But and also we're introduced to a villain through Walter Goggins,
yeah.
which wounded. This is Walter Goggins' entry in the MCU.
I know. He he makes the character interesting, but it's like an insane, like an almost cartoon character, like bad guy.
It could have been anyone. It could have
Yeah,
been absolutely anyone. It did not need to be Walter Goggins because we could have had him. Do you know, I'm just saying this all on the back of Fallout and how
yeah.
brilliant he was in that. And yeah, just,
He did used to
just
get typecast as this kind of southern gentleman, though.
oh yeah,
And,
he's
and even in Fallout, that's how he like starts out. Like, he's the dumb like John Wayne type actor, and then
yeah.
eventually he gets like ground down by the wasteland and becomes all like gruff and serious. But yeah, he does. He used to get typecast as like this kind of southern dandy kind of guy a lot.
I'm sure he's in Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects and
Yeah,
possibly House of a Thousand Corpses playing a Southern cop.
yeah, yeah.
Sure of it. But yeah, that's the development. They are the new characters. Yeah, that's it.
So like so the reason we're having sort of muted feelings about this is like it comes off the back of one of the best
Yeah,
Avengers movies in Infinity War, where we were pretty much shown everything we wanted to see.
yeah.
And then this is like I don't think any of us knew we wanted to see another Ant-Man adventure. Like it's
Mm,
okay. There's nothing like super wrong with this. That I wouldn't even say there's any like downtime, like boring parts either. It moves very quickly.
yeah,
Like it's very watchable. But I
yeah.
almost feel like it would be better if you had no idea. If you'd only watched Ant-Man than this, like
But
you would feel much
but
better about it.
I kind of get it because we need Ant-Man to come back because the whole quantum
Yes.
thing takes place in Endgame. So there isn't a payoff to this movie in a way.
Yes, and it was amazing when he was in Civil War as well. That was a proper like fan moment when he became Giant Man for the first time, and you were like,
Oh, I
oh,
lost
that's
my
what we've always wanted
mind.
to see.
Yeah,
So
I
like
lost my mind over that.
he's stuck in this weird spot where they keep using Ant-Man as like a transition character to like other stuff. Because they even do it a bit later in Quantum Mania and be like, oh, this is gonna be the link to Kang the Conqueror.
Oh god, yeah.
And
Which is
if it
not
doesn't
happening.
pan out, then you've wasted a movie on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you did.
Like,
Quantum Mania is not a bad movie, but you did waste an entire movie on a character who's never
yeah,
ever gonna come back into it.
yeah, and they could
Not
have,
the guy playing him anyway.
and they should have, yeah. If they they didn't know, but like they could have ended the Kang thing and left it a total cliffhanger with that one. You know, like
Yeah.
how we just wouldn't know. But no, that was the big plan. Which I'm guessing, um, he was probably going to take whatever Doom's role is. Like they're probably just character
Mm,
swapped. Like I'm assuming he was going to set up like Secret Wars or something.
yeah, you're probably
Because
right.
Kang makes a bit more sense to do that, where he's like, I'm going to time hop all over the place and I'm going to grab the X-Men and like bring them here.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
instead we're gonna have Doom. Um so this takes place 2 years
Mm.
after Scott was placed under house arrest for breaking the Sokovia Accords,
Yeah.
and we find out that obviously um the relationship between Hank and Hope is diminished because he stole the suit to do it.
Yeah, that was a bit like confusing when I first started this. Like, why would that put them in trouble? And it they don't super explain it other than like I guess because of the Accords, he should have surrendered all of his tech over, I think. But yeah,
Potentially.
basically it put them on the run with
Yeah,
Scott, and they're mad because Scott got caught, which
yeah.
then looked bad on them, and then they couldn't like move on with anything.
But yet don't take into consideration that Scott's got a daughter and,
Yeah,
needs to grow up a little bit and, hold himself accountable and
but you'd
take
think
some
Hope would
responsibility.
understand having absentee parents and stuff like that.
Probably not, probably not. But that's where we start off with Scott at home
Yeah, doing
with
his little
Cassie,
mon.
with the best Cassie.
Yeah,
Should,
this is the part where they're doing the little Ant Man thing, isn't it? Where they've got the like fake shrink Honey I Shrunk the Kids playset.
world's number one grandma.
It's so good.
I really wish they just waited for that kid to grow up to be Cassie Lang.
Oh, she's great. Like, I'm sure they would gladly have her back or something, like
I'd
in
hope so,
some other
because the new
role.
Cassie Lang I do not like.
I don't even know what Cassie ends up as in the comics. I know she
Ant-Man?
turns it. Yeah, like so, like just takes over the suit sort of thing,
Yeah.
and
You know
yeah,
when she says, I wish in the film, she's like, oh, I wish, why can't I be your partner?
yeah.
Don't worry, Cassie, you get there.
I know she is in Quantum Mania doing some stuff. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, but it's not her. That's not the
I'm
good
I'm
Cassie.
still not even sure if we're gonna get that new Avenger, not new Avengers, young Avengers or whatever. I don't think we're gonna do it. I think they're
No.
just gonna bring them in as cameos whenever they feel like it.
Yeah. There's gonna be, yeah, I have a young Avenger. Have a Kamala Khan.
Everyone keeps on going like, oh, they're gonna do like West Coast Avengers, and I'm just like, no,
No, they're not.
they're not.
Oh no, they're not. Um. So yeah, Scott's under house arrest, and he is visit because he's got a tag on and obviously cannot leave his
Yes.
home. and his while playing with Cassie, his foot ends up outside of the home, which triggers the police, and we
Yeah.
get oh my God, I know who he is in the office because it's
Oh
Asian Jim, but I don't know who he is. I can't remember his name.
no, I don't remember this
Oh, Jimmy
character.
Woo.
Yes, okay, Woo, yeah.
Jimmy
Um,
Woo,
so
who,
he's the one who will from like this point on start cropping up in like sort of spin-off things. Like he shows up in One Division and stuff like that,
yeah,
doing this very card trick that he
yeah,
learns.
it's the big payoff.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
because Scott's learned magic. Obviously, he's had a lot of time on his hands, and it sounds like from the film that he has really kept his nose clean for
oh
two
yeah.
years. He's starting a business with the gang.
They have like a
Um,
security business,
yeah,
yeah.
because who else would be good at security than
Yeah,
criminals? Yeah, so he's really like kept his nose clean, and he's been learning close up magic with his time.
yeah,
And he's Jimmy is constantly trying to find out how he does it. And by one division,
yeah.
the trick is actually done by Jimmy.
Because
Um,
we see he's enrolled in like this weird guy's close-up magic university thing.
yeah.
And then we see Wu put like on the same website
Well,
later on. It's a good running joke.
Paul Rudd did actually learn close up magic
You
for
can tell.
this. Can't do it now.
Oh, he's lost it, has he?
Yeah. Uh-huh. But he did it for this movie. He also learned to play the violin, just in case it was
Wow.
needed.
But then they put him on the drum set. It was giving me I Love You Man vibes, like when he was jamming away. I know that was slap of the bass, but you know, it was just same vibes. This whole like montagey thing is a bit COVID lockdown. Like
Yeah.
we had to live through times like this.
I mean, we didn't have the police like swarming outdoors if we
No,
like,
that is a
but
funny joke though. That his ankle, like he puts his foot through the back fence, and then because his ankle goes out of the exact property line.
I love
Um,
I love Judy Greer though when she's coming in going, "He's harassing like harassing him. What does police actually stand for anyway?"
yeah, and like and her partner's like, no, actually, they're fine to do this. Actually,
Yeah.
they don't need a warrant. Like just kind of like under his breath, like next to
But it
her.
looks like the family dynamics like totally fixed.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks like he's good friends with ex-wife and new husband, and it just
And it's
for
very
Scott,
much like there's a little bit of a plot point later where it's like, oh, she's left her shoes over at your place, so I need to come get them and stuff. So it's very much like, oh, she lives here on the weekends, and it's
yeah,
you know all that good stuff. Um, and yeah, what does he watches some like movies in this, doesn't he? That kind of links to things. I think it's Animal House where they're talking about like so the cell in my fingernail could contain. He's like, yep, an entire universe.
oh yes, that is Animal House. I know that
Yeah,
one
and that's when he gets bit by the secret ant. Now our fantastical story kicks off, pretty much, isn't
because
it?
he has a vision, doesn't he?
Oh yes, yes. This is like the inciting incident, where he has like a weird vision. I don't know if he is in the eyes of
Is of her.
Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah, it's like a
But
memory of Janet, but it's him
yeah,
who is Janet.
yes. Oh, and we did forget to mention we have seen de-aged Michelle Pfeiffer already in like the intro scene where it's
So
like going on a
yes,
business trip, and then we get like a recap of the whole, which we saw before in the last movie when they go inside the missile and all that stuff.
yes. So it's actually so it kind of like so on Ant-Man number one,
Yeah,
he has an entanglement with the quantum thingy.
yeah, yeah,
Now, she's actually been hinted since Ant-Man 1.
yeah, yeah. Because she had to like go into the missile, and she shrank too far and got like lost forever. But
Hmm.
he's like, I always knew there was a way to get you back, sort of
Well,
thing.
not just that, her image is also being hinted at since the
Oh,
first
like
one.
in the graphics and stuff, like
You
when
can
he's
see it in his helmet when he's in the quantum.
nice.
People kind of like said it was either a star or a blob or something, but Peyton says, nope, that was her.
Yeah, and I think in this one you can see some like cityscapes behind them, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's like where they'll go to eventually.
Well, well, what you can see. What
Yeah.
fans theorize you can see, because fans were not happy that the original owner of Ultron
Oh yeah. Yeah.
was not told, and the fact it was given to Tony and Bruce.
Yes.
It's Ultron, you can see.
Oh, okay. So like a link back to like yeah, because yeah, in the comics, like Hank's the Ultron's creator, because he wants to be like more
It
hands
was
off
that it
and be like,
well it was so it I've got here at one point concept artist Andy Park asked to design different helmets for Ant-Man to where he was in the quantum realm.
yeah,
Payton wanted to explore the helmet that could expose Scott's face so it could still be projective. I came up with the idea that the helmet could have had two modes, a model mode with his helmet closed so we knew it, and an alternative mode where transport for I think oh yeah. Um I thought I was reading something completely different there.
that's
And
all
an
right.
alternative mode that had a transparent red blast shield come down after the front part of the helmet raised up to expose his face. The resultant design is clearly reminiscent of Ultron.
Right, like proper Ultron with like
So
the
they
line.
really so there's certain aspects in the quantum realm where you can actually see some layout of the design work of Ultron, but they
All
actually
right.
wanted to do it with the helmet as well to say, well, really, Hank
Yeah.
did that.
Or maybe Tony got the idea because there is there is a thing. I think it's a deleted scene from Iron Man 2 where Tony's like, "Oh, get me the files on like the Pegasus project and Project Goliath and stuff like that." So
Hmm.
I think maybe they were trying to do a link back and be like, "Oh, Tony just stole the name," like
Yeah.
because he overheard it at like conference or something.
Oh yeah.
But
But
yeah, I think we talked about it at the time, but Ultron classically is like an insane robot that doesn't have like a proper face. It's just like an angry
mhm.
line that glows, and all of his text boxes are in like, like spiky font because he's
Yeah.
just, you think he's just shouting all the time. That's what it looks like from the comics anyway.
So for all that Scott is having this vision or being Janet, at the same time, Hope and Hank are actually looking for her.
Yeah, like the over the
Because
bridge for like a second or something.
yeah, well, because the fact that Scott came back clearly indicates that you can come back and maybe she's just lost.
Yeah, yeah,
So that kind of opens the door for that. But then obviously Scott's message, say, because Scott rings them to say, listen, I've had this thing and it had something to do with Janet. And
yeah. He's like, I was your
um,
wife. Like when he chats to him later, he's like, but not like that.
the conversation later on is so funny though. When he's like, oh, my penis.
I know.
Yeah. So where are we?
He gets stung and falls asleep.
Oh, that's right. And he's out of the house, which freaks him out because he's literally a few days away from his house arrest being
Oh
over.
yeah, 3 days I think at the start of the
And
film. So
everyone's so proud of him. Like everyone's so proud of him. And yeah, Janet breaks him out of the house, but also puts an ant in there as a decoy.
yeah, and it's just like it knows your daily routine. You're like 6 hours in front of the TV, then 2 hours in the bathroom.
So
uh,
obviously there's a strain between Hope and Scott because of his actions with the Avengers, and this is where this is a callback to in Endgame,
yeah,
because he calls Captain America Cap.
yeah, just like cat. He's like, well, yeah, that's what friends call him.
That's what, but it's the way he went, it's the way he backtracked and went, Captain America.
Yeah, it's what we call him when you're friends.
But then she does it in Endgame. We're on it,
Yeah,
Cap.
which I would have never linked those two together. Maybe this watching, but I definitely didn't
Yeah,
notice at the time.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, like, but it's an odd kind of reason for them to fall out because she's like, oh well, I would have come with you if you'd said, sort of thing. Like that's kind of what he gets out of her, like
Jealous.
over the almost, yeah. And she's like, oh, you wouldn't have got caught if I was with you. So she's like, on one hand, she's like, oh, I'm jealous I didn't get to come, and on the other hand, you did like shit without me, and it sort of embarrassed the Ant-Man name and stuff.
All right, Hope, calm down.
And like, and,
Um,
and this is where he says like, because like he gets there and like Hank's also salty, like giving him the stink eye across the lab. And he's like, "Did you destroy my suit?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course, I had to destroy it." And he's like, "That my suit, my life's work," and stuff like that. It is quite. There's a lot of like funny, like abrasive
Yeah.
attitudes in this movie.
I love Michael Douglas in this film.
He's
I
a
lo-
lot better in this one.
I didn't
Um,
mind him in the first one,
oh,
but
I
he
just
has
think he's
definitely found his feet in this one.
yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's just relaxed a bit. Like he's having more fun
He's
with it.
fun. He didn't actually sign a contract, um, but he always said the door is open. I will play this character until I can't play him no more.
Oh, that's a shame that they haven't seemed to have found like a spot for him.
But he keeps getting called back. Like he gets called back for this.
Yeah.
He's in Endgame for like a second.
Mhm.
Is he in Quantum Mania?
I think they all go on. Yeah, I think the whole family goes to the
Yeah.
quantum realm, as far as I
So
remember.
I
We'll
guess
get
I guess it's
there.
nice eventually. I guess it's nice that he has that door that's like open, but he's
Yeah.
not. I think it'll be very hard to contract Michael Douglas, given that his age is obviously going to play a huge factor in it.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm not expecting him to be like, oh, he's the main character and he has to learn like pages and pages of the script sort of thing. But yeah, it's when we enter like the lab, you do quickly see a shadowy, phasey figure, which we know to be Ghost,
Yeah,
like watching them.
watching. But
She's good at
yes, she
that.
is. So they believe that the message from Janet is confirmation that she's alive. So they
Yeah,
work to build a stable quantum tunnel. I had to read that
yes.
to make sure I said it right.
I think I wrote
Um,
that down too.
but they have to. There's a part that's needed for the
Yeah,
tunnel.
we don't really know what it is. They're just like, ah, it's like a quantum thingy. And like even Scott's like, you guys just put
Science.
quantum in front of everything.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just science. But they're going to buy it from the black market dealer Sonny
yeah.
Birch.
But I do like a lot of the super science in this movie because if you notice in the lab, it's all built out of like giant objects. Like there's like light bulbs in there and like Lego pieces and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
like volume knobs. And that's because they
right.
shrink the office down, so it needs to be able to like function tiny and
Yeah,
big because it turns into a little suitcase.
that's how they all go hiding. They just make themselves really tiny.
And he's got his
Um,
little Hot Wheels thing of all of his cars.
yes, but Birch realizes the potential of whatever it is that he has because he finds out that Susan is
Yeah.
actually Hope Van Dyne and she is wanted and tries to up the ante with whatever deal that they've made.
Yeah, he's gross as well. He's like, no, no, I'm keeping the money for the emotional turmoil and stuff like that. He's a proper slime ball.
He's awful. But she comes out, wasp ablazing.
Yeah, what do you think of the Wasp suit? Because I feel like they have took all of the color out of it that we saw at the end of Ant-Man 1.
Color wise, it's dull.
Yeah, you can
Aesthetically
still
looking at it, it's quite pleasing.
yeah, you can still see like some of the like gold and stuff, but it's only like in close-up shots and it's only on like the accented
I
pieces,
wish it
I
was more
think.
yellow. I really wish it
Yeah,
was more yellow.
they've made it more like metallic and
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
interesting.
It's no. I'm not a fan of the color, but the actual suit itself, the
Mhm.
fitting of it, the helmet of it, the wings. I actually really. She's a Funko Pop I went and bought.
I think like that's the thing with like Scott's Ant-Man suit. The when they do some redesigns and stuff, like it looks quite nice in Civil War and the sort of Endgame variant with the different colors is quite nice as well.
Yeah.
But I
Oh
think
yes, I love the suit in Endgame.
yeah, I think her the wings finish off the sort of look though, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like kind of makes the silhouette a lot more like nicer to look at.
100%. And I love the fact that Scott's like, you give her wings?
Yeah. And little blaster things, which obviously is
Yeah.
a classic Wasp thing.
But
Um
while she's fighting and literally handing these guys their asses, she's attacked by, in my notes, quantumly unstable masked woman.
yeah. That's a good ghost. But yeah, she's also a badass and uh Hope's not quite ready for this phase
No,
shifting thing. She gets like
No,
one hit in, I think, with the
she
wing.
doesn't have a chance to figure it out because
Yeah,
by the time she's in there, being hit in her ass a few times,
yeah,
she's gone with the suitcase.
yeah. That's one thing I noted down, not really enjoying in this film was there's a lot of like, I've stole this thing, I'm running over here. Now we stole it back. Now I've stole it back. Like, and now I'm
Well,
running over here again.
Payton was trying to go for another heist movie,
Yeah, it doesn't
but it was a
quite
bit,
get there.
no, it doesn't. And it's like, it's a bit too much.
Hmm. Yeah, there's too many mini heists all like put
Yeah,
together.
make it one big heist.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Pym or Hank reluctantly takes Hope and Lang to go and visit his estranged partner, Bill Foster.
Yeah, and Hank is very annoyed by everything going on. I love that thing though when they're going on about the like the baseball hats and stuff. It's like we look like us, but we've gone to a baseball game.
Yeah, there's a running joke with them starting from one of the early movies that every time apparently because Scott says something along the lines of a hat and sunglasses don't disguise you, you're not a different person. They do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
every time, and they do it in this film as well.
Yeah, I suppose they do that with in Winter Soldier, don't they, and stuff like that. And Bucky does it quite a lot, like when he's
Cody
in the
does it.
market and stuff. I think also around here, just before this, we get the part where he goes to meet the security gang for a little bit, and we
Mm.
get like some Hank sitting there being annoyed by everybody, which is funny. But yeah, so they've gone to see
Bill
Morpheus
Morpheus.
doing a lecture talking
I
about phase
do.
shift and quantum stuff.
I, a lot of quantum.
Yeah. The word
So much
matrix
quantum.
is on the blackboard apparently as well.
No way.
At least that's as far as they went though. Like they didn't bring any lines back because that would have been a bit cheesy, I feel
Oh,
like.
that'd been awful. I
But
liked
yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, he's class. He's like perfectly fine in this. He's just doing his like nice old man gig that he was sort of
Yeah.
doing in that Superman film he was in as well. And he was like in the he was like the reporter man for like the Superman
Perry White?
Returns. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with
In one of
that.
the Snyder ones, possibly, but I can't remember now. It's
I,
they all merged together for me.
do you know what? For all I've had Superman in my life for like the last 6 months, I
Yeah,
never watched any of the Snyder one. I didn't watch the Snyder one.
yeah, they're kind of bad. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, yeah, I quite like this part though because it's under like we get this like big theme of like everyone hates Hank who's ever worked with him, and he's grumpy, so we kind of know why.
I mean,
But
he punched that guy out at Shield.
yeah, and like this is like linking back to somebody else as well, a different scientist who's apparently like Dr. Egghead or something like that from the
That's
comics.
yes, uh-huh.
That's
So he's
Ghost's
kind of like
dad or
that's Ghost.
something.
Yes, Elias is Dr. Egghead.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've got something on him.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't look into him too much, but he seems like he's a classic Ant-Man villain of like I'm an evil scientist and my head is pointy, a bit like an egg.
I'm Mr. Egghead. Yeah, I don't think I wrote it down. Oh no, I did. In the film, Ava is revealed to be the daughter of Elias Starr. In the comic, Starr is a villain known as Egghead, an evil
Yeah,
scientific genius and Archimist, arch enemy of Ant-Man, Hank
yeah.
Pym.
Yeah. So like I can see that they're laying some groundwork to be like, well, we could do an Ant-Man in the past series because we've got this whole gang of like super
Yeah.
science people. um but yeah, so I can't remember. I'm just trying to think like yeah, this is where like Ant-Man's like, oh, do you guys just put the word quantum in front of everything? And then there's this cute moment where they're like, oh, I used to be like Goliath, and he's like, I got to like, what was it, like 18
Oh
feet
yeah,
or
because he was
something.
like because obviously he grew tall. He went
Yeah,
giant for in Civil War, and Bill's proper buzzing like, "How tall did you get?" Like, and
yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I slept for a week after that," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I did it as part of like the Goliath." thingy, and it's like they were sharing stories.
He's like,
But
I'm sure he just says like, oh, I got to like 14 feet or something, and Scott's like, because I was like 36 or something. I can't
yeah,
remember what he says.
yeah. But the nice moment is broken up as Ava drops herself back into the mix.
Yeah, yeah. And this is where the sort of like, oh, we need, if only we had a third Ant-Man suit, and then Scott's like, oh, I kind of didn't destroy it, type of thing. It's inside the greatest Grand War trophy, apparently, all shrunk down and sellotaped to the bottom.
World's
Um,
greatest grandma.
yeah, and so they have to go. They have to take a trip to school because Cassie's took it for show and tell, unfortunately. And this is where
Oh,
we
that's
get some
right.
more weird comedy with like, oh, the suit, the work in progress suit is kind of busted, and it makes him into a weird, like, weird, short, homunculus man.
Homunculus. I love that word.
It's he's really scary though, because like he's not actually the proportions of a child. He's like
Yeah.
he's like a full man, but about as tall as it.
Well, I think is it before we get to the school that Ava kind of reveals who she is, like who her father is, that she was a former assistant of or former partner of Pym, and that basically she's dying.
I
Um,
think that's a bit later when they get like kidnapped again, but it's all right because we already talked about the Eggman.
oh, well that, um, yeah, but doesn't she kidnap? Oh, I can't remember. She kidnaps
It's
all
a bit
three of
it's
them.
just after this, but the school thing is pretty funny, and they do a lot of like practical effect stuff with them, like putting them on like giant staircases and things like
Yeah,
that.
but basically, Ava and Janet are kind of connected.
Yeah,
Um, I'm going to read this so I don't get it wrong.
no, go for it.
Um, so, her father Elias was another of Pym's former partners. Elias and his wife died during an experiment that caused Ava's unstable state. Foster enters and reveals that Ava is dying and in constant pain as a result of her condition. They plan to cure her using Janet's quantum energy,
Mhm.
believing that this will kill Janet. Pym refuses to help them and escapes with Hope, Lang, and the lab.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got to get the old suit because that's something that'll help them track the lab. And then when they go find the lab, is where they see like Ghost in the weird chamber, being like, "Oh, I need my magic rays to make myself feel better."
Well, oh, when they're this is when they finally get contact. Like just after this, they get contact with Janet again, but it's Janet
Yes,
inside of Scott, and it's one of the
yes,
funniest moments of this film.
yeah, and it's funny though because like they open it and you think nothing's happened because it takes like a few seconds for like
It's the way she just like,
consciousness.
or the
Yeah,
way he looks around. Like,
yeah,
how smart is Janet Van Dyne though that she like literally just boots everyone out the way, and they're like, Scott, get off, and she's like,
yeah. It's like, oh, Hank, you've just messed up the algorithm a bit. I'll fix it, sort of thing. But
You've got the
then
great ideas, you just need a little extra nudge.
yeah, but then Paul Rudd's doing all the creepy like I've missed you, honey, stuff like that,
It's okay, Peanut.
like touching people's face.
Yes,
Yeah.
stop touching people's face.
Oh yeah, sorry. What Peanuts Cassie's nickname? What does she call
No, Peanut is
Hope?
no. Janet calls Hope Peanut.
Oh, okay. What
Doesn't she?
I thought it was the other way around, but I can't remember what the other nickname is now.
Oh no, Cassie's Peanut.
Yeah, but it's a very much like a oh Scott does this cute little thing with his daughter too.
Yeah, and it's like, oh look, he's the last 2 years he's been sorting his life out for his kid.
Yeah.
Hope.
Oh, it's gonna do me head in. I'm gonna look it up now. Nickname. Is it gonna tell me? What do I need to type in? What does Michelle Pfeiffer call?
You
No,
got
I
it?
know it's not gonna tell me, is it? Sorry for derailing.
No, it's okay. What did
Red
you type
Queen,
in?
what's that all about? Ant-Man, Wasp.
I need to know how to spell Michelle would be a help. I can't know my sister-in-law's called that.
No, we'll give up on it. Maybe it'll pop into our heads at
What
some
did
point.
Michelle Pfeiffer say about Bill Gates?
Let the dead lie. But yeah, I quite liked the sort of ghost backstory because they do manage in a short time to make you feel sorry for her because you see like the child, in like the rubble of the lab explosion.
Jelly bean.
Jelly bean, okay. They didn't have peanuts back in the olden days.
No, in
Um,
the olden days. Fuck off, she's about the same age as me. Like,
uh,
Janet, Hope, that is, not
yeah,
Janet.
yeah. But yeah, like they do make you feel sorry for Ghost because there's that cute moment or like cute sad where like the fireman comes in, he's like, oh, and his hands like go through her, and then they're
The
like,
only
this is
thing that
freaky.
the Ghost is a very problematic person because
Mhm.
they clearly they they're in so much pain that nobody else is pain, and she's in
Matters.
physical pain and no one else's pain matters, so she will come do anything, and this is why she's very sympathetic towards the end.
Yeah, yeah. When like the pain's finally taken away, and she just sort of like
That look on
stops.
her face,
Yeah, with the single tear, very very good acting.
really good.
Um,
But while they're having their moment with Janet, the gang, Lewis, Dave, and Kurt, have been contacted by the FBI.
oh god, yeah, and also he's freaking out about the proposal and rings Scott, and then Scott tells him where they are, which is the big mistake.
Because Birch uses truth serum on them.
Yeah, that sort of whole like
That was
joke
so
about them.
funny.
And he's just like, it's like a truth serum. Like there's no such thing as
He's
truth
like, it's not
serum.
a truth serum, and it's like, and he just starts spilling all this stuff out about how the business is going under if they don't get this client. And
Yeah.
Lewis is really funny in this one.
Yeah, and he ends up talking about his old like family's like diner with the jukebox that only plays Morrissey and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all good
Sorry.
stuff. But again,
Yeah.
when Thanos is lurking in the background, we're like, it's a bit weird to be doing this now.
Yeah. Because if, the last thing that we saw, our heroes got, you know, scattered.
Yeah, zapped away forever, as far as
Yeah.
we knew.
As far as we
Um,
knew.
but then this part turns out Ghost is also in that room, and they were like just talking about her, and then they're like, the Baba Yaga and stuff like that.
The witch is here.
Yeah,
Well, the FBI, 'cause what is it? Hold on. So, using the truth serum, Birch learns the trio's location from Lang's business
yeah,
partners and informs and contacts the FBI. So it's
yeah,
the
because
FBI who then go after, but Lewis manages to warn Lang, who rushes home before Wu can get him, for which really infuriates Wu because he's
yes,
like he's trying to get that win, and I don't think he wants it to be Scott, but he just needs that win.
yeah. So it's like the second time he has to like rush home right before the FBI busts in. Um, and this
But
time he manages to be like in the bathroom, but then like the rest of the family's there looking for trainers. So like
because
Cassie's there as well,
but
and it's a whole mess.
Cassie like kind of
Oh yeah,
um she's the one who helps him out.
she plays along for
Yeah,
enough time for him to come out the bathroom and be like, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
sick."
But while all that's happening, him and Hope are arrested by the FBI following Ava taking the lab.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boo.
Hmm.
And like this part does suck, but they get them out really quick,
The
so you
same as
don't
the
really
first film.
you don't really get that much time to sit with the whole like mistake. It kind of reminds me of like a D&D like plot line where you'd be like, oh, you've caused these guys to go to prison, but let's go break them out, like in the next hour sort of thing. It's kind of like that kind of speed of a quest going on. But yeah, they're like freaking out, but then Scott brings in all the tiny ants to like block all the cameras and do all that fun stuff and give him
You
another
know
cap
what Hank did for
disguise.
him in the first one.
Yeah. Which they don't really harp on. You'd think they would be like, remember when I did this for you, but they don't really
Yeah.
mention it.
This literally, the next part is literally backwards and forwards of who's got
Yeah,
what.
that's what I was saying. Like there's so much changing hands of the lab and the whatever part they need to finish
Yeah.
it, which they never really discuss
No.
much.
And it's literally just backwards and forwards until they finally get it to where, because Hank
Hmm.
goes into the quantum realm to go and get Janet, but they
Yes.
need the building to be bigger for when they get out.
Yeah, like when he comes back, it has to be the big size. So like while he's in there, effectively doesn't have a way out until they like put
Yeah.
it down and make it big. And so this starts like a crazy car chase with all the baddies and like Ghost isn't really involved in this part yet, but it's like all the like all the mobster type guys, and then like Scott gets stuck as Giant Man like for most of this, where he's
And then he's
slightly
like
bigger.
woozing out.
Yeah, you're doing like skateboards on cars, and this is where like, the Hello Kitty thing gets like launched at the baddies on the like.
It's
There's
brilliant.
there's some really like super inventive action, but I
Yeah.
feel like you don't get enough time to like appreciate
No,
it.
you can't really sit with you can't sit with it for too long. It's too
Yeah,
quick. There's too much backwards and forwards going on.
yeah,
But while Hank is in there, Ava does regain control of the lab, and she actually starts to take Janice's life
the
form,
juice.
but is stopped by Hope and
Yeah.
Scott. No, yeah,
Yeah. There's like they've sort of like finally figured out how to fight her in a way, like just like they have to be different with the way they attack that
yeah.
hit her when she's like solid.
And
What
this
did
is
you,
when oh, gone.
I was just
Sorry.
gonna say, what did you think about Michelle Pfeiffer coming back in a sort of like wasteland explorer outfit and
Oh, I
stuff like
loved
the
it. That she looked great.
yeah, I quite like the whole idea of like, oh, she's been trapped in here and kind of like we don't see it in this movie. There was a deleted scene, but like, oh, she's like learned the ways of the
Yeah.
cultures in here and
Which of course
sort of
she would have. She had plenty of time to do it, and she
yeah.
wasn't a dumb lady. I think she looked absolutely phenomenal. I love the fact that they used Grease 2 face for her de-aging. That is literally the face that they went with. Actually, I don't think it's Grease 2. I don't think that's the movie. I think it's a movie after Grease 2,
Uh-huh.
but they did use that one of her movies as her de-aging face.
Oh, that's a good
Um,
idea. Yeah, I think they've
mhm.
done that with like well with what do you call like RDJ and Michael Douglas, haven't
Yeah,
they,
I
in
think
previous
RDJ is
ones?
like around, around his time when he's part of the Brat Pack and,
Yeah.
them days where he looks like a dick. Um,
We've definitely seen like young Hank as well for a little bit.
yeah,
But yeah, like
but
they have a big smooch as well.
they do, and they get managed to get back, and Ghost is obviously freaking out because she's still in a lot of pain,
Yeah.
and instead of trying to fight her, Janet actually voluntarily gives her some of her energy, which temporarily stabilizes her.
Yeah, like but you don't really know technically what's going on. She just kind of literally gives her like a magic touch when she gets out of
Yeah,
the and it's all like very much
you
weird.
got the
Like
touch.
yeah, it's very much like oh she's like now this like like hyper being that's just ascendant. She's like it's okay. You're hurting so much like but yeah,
uh,
I guess we don't really know what messing around in the quantum realm does to you.
no,
She
no.
might be a mutant now for all we
And guess
know.
what? You're never gonna know either.
Not quite. Not probably not all the answers we
Well,
wanted.
the FBI
Um,
have soon figured out that Lang is not home.
I just want to shout out as well our Stanley cameo while we still
Yes,
have
I
them.
actually have it. Go on.
Because yeah, they shrink his car during the crazy chase, and then he's like, "Oh, the '60s were fun, but I'm paying for it now." So I just love the idea like of Stanley, like the real man, just wandering about, and then this like superhero stuff just falling on him, like out straight out of his comic books. It's just very fun to think
I thought I'd written
about.
it down and I did. It's there.
Yeah, yeah. But it's
Absolutely
okay.
gorgeous.
Like I said, that there's a lot of like silly stuff that in this movie that's almost not worth talking about. Like Tim Heidecker shows up as a weird boat tour guide and stuff. When he does the whole whale thing.
Oh, look, it's coming for us. We're not even
Tim
out the
Heidecker
dock.
from Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job, which is a very funny comedy show.
Ah. Well, also, the gang gets to use the truth serum on the baddies, and
Yeah,
they reveal all their deepest, darkest secrets to the police.
yeah, and he's like, my restaurant's like it's got
Not
really
a
bad hygiene. Worse
So my
than you'd
restaurants,
even think.
I've cut corners in my restaurant business, and things just aren't above standard. I'm a really, really bad guy. I love Walter Goggins in that moment.
Yeah,
But then
and then the other
the other
guy's like,
guys,
yeah,
is
you
this
do
true
it.
serum?
He's so weird as well. Like I recognize him from like the odd comedy role and stuff like that. But they've
I didn't
got
recognize his face.
all of like the henchmen have got very weird like speaking patterns and stuff just to add to like the comedy and things. But yeah, like surprisingly, this is like one of the happier endings in Marvel. Because like Scott technically gets away, like he leaves a giant suit to like
As a
throw the
decoy.
FBI
Hey Scott, it's give it up.
and then as soon as it starts deflating, he's just like, God damn it, and like tries to like get home before him.
And he
Um,
finds him playing the drums.
yeah,
And is
yeah.
that it? 2 years are already up.
I wonder where they put the ant, the giant ant that was living in his
I'd
house.
hate to think
You see it a few times. You do see it at the end, actually, in the
you
end
do
credit
playing the
scene.
drums.
Um, so yeah, everyone's all happy. You know, we've got the family back.
Yeah,
Cassie is fine, and she's like, you know, like there was like some cute moments where she's like, no, you got to help people. Like you can't just be
yeah,
scared because of me, type of thing.
yeah. Like I'm fine. Like I'm totally fine.
She says
Ava
that
and
now, but if Child Protective Services took her away,
mm,
she wouldn't feel
well,
fine.
Ava and Foster go into hiding. That's it. You don't know,
Yeah,
see, or hear from them again.
yeah. I don't think Bill comes back at all in any
No,
capacity.
but obviously Ghost does because we get her back in her brilliant performance in Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Do you think
Honestly, she
like
was a standout.
yeah? Do you think some of this stuff is like is why maybe the MCU could do with casting like less celebrities, you know, like so they can bring them back a bit cheaper. Because like that's the thing that like animated stuff and comics doesn't have to worry about because it's like, oh, I'll just draw Mr. Fantastic, like you know what I mean. But in this in like in our world, they're like, oh, we have to hire Pedro Pascal sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it becomes a lot harder to make a cameo happen.
Oh, well, everything's great. The
Mhm.
Pims, the Van Dynes, the Langs, everything's all hunky dory until.
Yeah. Let's do a quick quantum experiment and collect some healing particles for Ghost.
Yep,
Be careful not to be sucked into any time vortexes, silly Scott.
silly sausage. It's not him who they needed to worry about. It was
No.
themselves
Oh yeah.
because
And
they
unfortunately,
were.
yeah. And unfortunately, they left only the people that would be snapped outside, and they were the only ones that could pull him back out.
Yeah,
So Scott's trapped in the quantum realm for all we know.
yeah.
Scary.
Until Marvel put a sign at the end that Ant-Man and the Wasp will return.
The wasp.
The Wasp.
And then yeah, like our final end credit, which is like half creepy, is like, you know, the empty city with like the emergency broadcast just like flashing on the screen, and then we see the ant has learned how to play the electric drum set. Better
It's
than
just
Scott, I'll have
yeah.
you note, as a drummer myself.
Oh
I was
yeah, I was
like,
gonna
oh,
say you
the
would know.
person they got for the mocap for that was actually playing better than Scott was, which is a fun little touch.
And that is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, a weird
That's
mini heist adventure
that
that
we
kind of
need.
doesn't fit here.
That we need. It does plant some seeds. Obviously, you get to see the snap at the end to know that in the
Yeah,
timeline of things, when Infinity War is taking place, so is this in the same
yeah,
time. Obviously, Scott's going to play a huge part in Endgame. If you know, without
yeah,
Scott, there's no idea. So Scott plays a huge part. So yes, that part needs to happen. Bringing Ava in at the time, see, I can hear Zeus's squeaky toy.
yeah. He's not even
um,
close either.
oh my gosh. So yeah, having Ghost at the time felt a bit meh, but the payoffs now happened in Thunderbolts, and
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I'm not being sarcastic. She was fantastic in that film.
yeah. It's just one of those weird things, isn't it, where they used some lesser known characters because they didn't want to like use anyone big, but then that makes people not remember them much until they have like, you know, some, you know, more
Yeah.
story down the line.
Yeah,
because
I was
I
pleased.
because I
Okay.
pretty much forgot she was in this until I like loaded it up. If I'm totally honest, you know what I mean?
Really? Oh, I always knew she was there. I just remember being really irritated by her, and I was like, ugh,
Honestly,
oh,
so much of this movie it got mixed up in my head with Quantum Mania. I was like, oh,
right,
so this movie is barely in the quantum realm again. It's like same as the first one. Like I was surprised we were in the human world as much as we
right.
were, you know what I mean?
No, you're not watching Quantum Mania yet.
I know, then I realized I was like, oh no, I'm not watching that one. This is yeah, just
This is a
completely gone.
different one. Yeah. So that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Um, I think this is a perfect time because we've done the episode.
Yeah.
Give our little initial thoughts on Fantastic Four.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
So
we have seen Mr. Doomsday himself.
yeah, I'm surprised Marvel haven't like ruined anything for people yet.
No, we might be ruining it for some people because they haven't like done a proper like press thing. But um, yeah, I definitely liked Fantastic Four. It didn't set my world on fire, but it's one of them ones where I'm excited to watch it again, like in the comfort of my own home, you know, like once it comes on
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that because my mind was a little preoccupied at the time.
Yeah,
However, um, I don't know how to say this without,
without being mean to the
yeah,
F4 fans.
yeah. You've got to understand how much I love Fantastic Four in order for us to actually be saying this. But
Yes.
I didn't like, and this is not to say I don't like Pedro Pascal because I do. I love the man. I think the hate that
Yeah.
he's getting right now is absolutely it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so ridiculous. However, he is not Reed Richards,
Mm.
and I am so sad to have that feeling of you're not Reed.
I
I'm
guess like
sorry.
I guess the thing with me is I don't particularly have a Reed Richards
I have
because
one in my head.
I've only seen the first Fox one. I never watched like the Silver Surfer or like the reboot stuff. Um, and cartoons wise, he doesn't show up that much. Like I didn't watch much of the like the old 90s
He's
show.
too calm. He's too calm.
Yeah.
He's way too calm. Like I'm not saying like, and I said this at the time. He's not as neurotic as I thought he was going to be, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
like Reed's scatty or crazy, but he's so quick. He's so. Do you
Yeah.
know? I don't even think, and I championed for John Krasinski to play Reed for a long time, but and I know we got him in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Visually, he looks like Reed,
Yeah.
but I don't even think John could have reached the levels that I was looking for. The guy
Yeah.
who plays him in the Fox one,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he was so good.
Oh, you
So
liked
good.
him. Okay.
That's like, it was very comic accurate in my head. And
Mm.
again, this is just me and my picture and how I
And it's not
envisioned
nostalgia
Reed,
with you though, because you only saw them recently, didn't you?
like literally a couple of weeks ago.
So it's not you're not like me where I'm like, nah, Tobey Maguire's the best Spider-Man because he
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
first one I bothered to watch as a kid.
Yes, no, I'm not like that. It's just
No,
I've read so much Fantastic Four.
yes,
Um,
you would have read way more than me. The only one I'd read was some like edgy reboot, like around 2010 or something. That I was reading like way later, like you know, once it was in the bargain bin.
every everything else worked. Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby, literally smashes this film.
Yeah,
Um, what's his name? Joseph Quinn, was phenomenal as Johnny Storm. I don't know the guy's name who played the thing. Brilliant,
I love him
really,
though. Yeah,
really, everything there worked, but he didn't as Reed for me.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Um, there's not a great deal that we can spoil with this film.
no, I mean they already knew about like Surfer and Galactus and stuff, and that is super cool.
Did you?
Galactus's introduction,
Oh, he looks so. He's so good. He's so good.
everything about it though, like even the Silver Surfer coming down and being like, you know, I herald like the
I've
end, like type of thing. Like
I
it's so good.
herald his end. Have you not
Yeah.
seen my video I did with my cats?
Oh yeah, 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 absolutely. Like I've been loving
Do you know
that
how
people are
hot?
using that sound.
Do you know how hard that was to get them to look up so I could get the end
Yeah,
bit? But
so you
then
saw them do anything.
Loki smashed it at the end where he did that, where his eyes went wider when Galactus came on. He's a pro. Sorry, I've just turned around and he's like lying with his paws up like that. Are you
Honestly,
okay
though,
there?
people were so wrong about the Silver Surfer being like mad that it wasn't
Shia
like
Oh, so
Norin
good.
Rad or whatever.
Norrin Rand, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, who cares? Shia oh, I can't say her name. Silver
Charlotte
Surfer
Bad.
lady.
Yeah, no, but honestly, like it would have made literally no difference to the movie.
No.
I mean, other than Johnny couldn't have had his like subplot about
Yeah.
being sort of connected, because that would have been weird if it was like the
No.
Naked Man version. But like honestly, like what other than coming and being like Galactus is coming, what does the Silver Surfer do? Like what does the Man Surfer do that's better than her? You know what I mean?
Wouldn't have made no
Like
difference.
not to me, not
No.
really.
And to be honest, if you're looking for this movie to progress you further in the MCU, you're looking in the wrong place because it's
Yeah, it
not.
doesn't quite do it, but we do officially get to see Doctor Doom, but he's not really on camera. But you do see the mask,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I haven't sat and looked at like freeze frames to see what the design is exactly. Like it looked all we saw was a cloak basically and a hand. So
And
we don't have a
that's
lot to go on.
it's not like you saw RDJ's face or anything.
No, not at all. Not even
But
close.
obviously Franklin is such a huge part in this film, and I do urges to if not urges, but like if you want to know more about why Franklin is so important, just go and do a Wikipedia search on. Please don't start reading because you will be there for fucking neons and years and years.
Yeah, yeah,
Franklin is a big deal. You
yeah,
know, he's and that whole Zoolander thing, Kid Hansel is such a big deal right now.
yeah,
Franklin is a big deal. He is ridiculously strong. There is a reason why he is wanted by the world eating
yeah.
Galactus himself.
I think technically as well he's an Omega level mutant because he's not affected by the cosmic rays in the same way that the rest of his family was mutated.
Yeah, yeah. But
he's a
yeah,
he's a classic X gene kind of guy.
I'm looking forward to watching it again because maybe I'll have a different opinion because of, like I say, I was very preoccupied when this
Yeah,
during this film, so my mind wasn't totally with it. But I knew that I knew how I felt about Reed.
yeah.
I did walk out and Paul looked at us and I just went, I didn't like it.
But that was like a first reaction sort of
Uh-huh.
thing.
And then but me, I have to talk things through. I have to see,
Yeah,
I have to see it again. Because we haven't watched it again.
no. But I'm really looking forward to just sitting quietly and watching it and
Hmm.
just absorbing everything. But
There is two end credit scenes, obviously the one that we mentioned, and then the last one which just melted my heart.
yes, there's a nice little
Finally,
tribute.
they acknowledged Jack Kirby
Yeah.
as part of this world.
They actually
And
named the universe after his like birthday as well.
they actually
So,
named a street after him too.
yeah, because this was set in the 818 universe, I think,
Yeah.
or something, or
Yeah,
181.
this is 818.
Yeah.
Um
So we have official, designation of the Fantastic Four's universe versus our 616 recurring, I think, which the MCU is, or something
it
like
is.
that.
It is.
Um, wasn't that because of like Ms. Marvel, the actress being like, this can't be 616 because 616 is our comics universe. And she was like basically told Kevin Feige, like, it's not 616.
It
Which
is
is
though.
great of her.
It is great. It is great that she went because she would be right. If you're looking at if we're saying that we need to separate the idea of comic book to movies
Which we do
because
though, because this
well
is
we have to because Civil War is not the same as what it is in the comics.
yeah,
It's a completely separate thing. Then she would be right. This would not be Earth 616. This would be something else because
yeah.
Earth 616 is your comic book staple. So
Your main
I
line. Yeah.
totally get what she means by that.
Big nerd.
Also they paid such a not only did they pay a homage to Jack Kirby at the end, which honestly it melted us.
Yeah.
Um, they actually used the first issue of Fantastic Four with the
Yeah.
big giant green monster.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the things that they fight in the
Yeah.
film.
And also there was an office for Timely Comics, which had
Yes,
actual Stanley and Jack Kirby sort of lookalikes in, which is dead cute. I didn't notice
it's
it when I was
amazing.
watching it because it moves quite fast.
Yeah, it's lovely that, and then it's a sad loss.
Yeah.
Stan's no longer with us, Jack's no longer with us, but I don't think anyone appreciates like Stan's been getting his flowers for how long?
Mhm.
Jack Kirby never did,
Yeah,
and
like there's been like the odd things where they've named random stuff like name things after like writers and artists and things, but they haven't
mhm.
gone like all in a lot of the time.
This was perfect. This was so fitting.
Yeah,
This was the movie to do it. That
yeah,
Jack finally gets some acknowledgement that of his involvement because it was created by Stanley and Jack Kirby.
yeah.
But like I say, Stanley has been getting them flowers for God knows how long.
Oh yeah, ungodly amounts of nerd love, like compared to everyone else.
There's so many people who get really upset about it. One of them being oh God, what's his name? Alan Moore.
Yeah, it's
He gets so upset over the fact that Stanley got more acknowledgement and praise than Jack Kirby ever did, and he always
yeah,
says that Stanley is nothing without Kirby, and
yeah.
I agree to it to an extent. Stanley was a brilliant writer, but you don't have them worlds without Jack Kirby's art.
I think Stan was like a really good ideas man as well. Like he
Oh
had
yeah.
ideas for characters and sort of like like worlds and things, but then he sort and he had some good ideas on like, oh, we can't do that, we have to do this, otherwise it won't go down well with the fans and things like that.
Hmm.
So he was like you say, they needed each other to be as great as they were. Couldn't be
Yeah.
just one or the other, otherwise it would
No.
have been like a lesser thing. We
No.
wouldn't have, but yeah.
He's yeah, just really, really, really happy about that.
Yeah, and I just liked the movie. It was like just a superhero movie, but that their like retro future 60s world was like super fun.
It
And I think they
was.
could be a lot sillier. They could shout stuff like, Mole Man stolen the like the skyscraper. You could just say something like that out loud and no one has to
I
make like
watched
a catty joke about it afterwards.
I watched a lovely interview with him.
The
Um
Mole Man
the
guy.
Mole Man guy. He's from Cobra Kai. He's
Uh-huh.
been in a few things, but one of the first things he ever did was with the director of Fantastic Four,
Yeah,
and he called him back for Mole Man.
excellent. He's good at it as well. He looks like what I would have thought the character looked like as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's so funny as well, and the fact that he really loves Sue.
Can I just say as like a side note, I've seen a lot of weird people being like, "Oh, well, this was just a bit like The Incredibles," and I'm like, "Do you guys not realize that The Incredibles is just a Fantastic
Because
Four?"
it's Fantastic Four.
Like it's not what you'd call a parody. I get it kind of is a parody, like pretty much on the nose. Apart from they've got a super
Oh,
the thing is the
honestly.
dad technically, and no rocks.
Honestly, man. The guy who I was referring to was Paul Walter Hauser,
Yeah,
who was a wrestler
that's funny. I can see it. He's got the build.
in AEW.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. We got our first glimpse of Doom, which was exciting, but then immediately you kind of were like, oh, but I want to know more.
Yeah, because I feel like because the movie didn't take you anywhere, like
Yeah, no other
progression wise.
universes.
No, no. Like I was like, oh,
But we've seen the ship show up in New Avengers, and I'm just
so
like,
what does that mean? What does it
yeah.
mean?
Well, yeah,
No
I mean,
answers.
I'm assuming at a very base level, we're gonna get some kind of like universe hopping Doctor Doom with Davy
Yeah.
Franklin, and then they're gonna be
Well,
trying to get here.
I heard an interesting rumor, not
Yeah,
rumor, but like theory that Doom's not there as a bad thing,
yeah.
that he's going to put things right.
Yeah, that it's probably they're probably gonna try and be like, oh, the multiverse is broken, and if we
And we
don't
need Tony
merge them,
Stark back, and this is how we're going to do it.
yeah, like if we don't merge everything together into like one universe, then all of them are gonna
Oh
blow
my
up.
God, imagine if he manages to rewind ND.
Yeah.
Imagine, I mean, it's a terrible, terrible. Like,
Well, there's that whole thing about the God Emperor Doctor Doom stuff. Yeah, sorry about the squeaks,
I
everyone.
think it's so funny. Zeus is having a ball.
He's getting closer. Like everyone's seen that God Emperor Doctor Doom where he like rips Thanos' spine out. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's gonna happen on screen. Like maybe he's gonna go to Endgame and be like, "Wah."
Yeah, like F this, and then that means Tony lives. Cap
Yeah,
doesn't go back
yeah,
to so
maybe not.
Cap, yeah, so Cap's doesn't go back to Peggy. He has to
Yeah,
actually stay out in this timeline. That timeline just doesn't fucking happen.
yeah.
It's terrible because Tony's death is like a huge thing. Like, and to take that away would be like, well, why did you do it in the first place?
I suppose
Um,
I suppose RDJ took it away himself by signing that
by agreeing
contract
to it,
to be
but
Doom.
yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited. I am excited, and I've got another poster to add to my collection of because
Yeah,
we made the promise to each other that if we're doing this, we have to go and see every
yeah.
Marvel film. So I have the posters to commemorate.
Oh yeah.
Currently, I have two Thunderbolt ones, which I don't
Okay.
know why. Am I
The
Fantastic
F4
Four?
one's very nice as well.
It's a different feel to the
Yeah,
shinier ones. I had
yeah.
to flatten it because obviously with my little episode when we're at the pictures, I threw it in the back seat of the car
Oh
and
yeah,
it got crumpled at the end. But I've managed to flatten it. But it
yeah.
is super duper cool.
That's where you got to go to the pictures, otherwise you can't pick up free posters or get
Yeah.
weird cups.
No
But
Galactus
yeah,
heads though.
well, my dog's telling me to wrap this sucker up.
Yes.
But thanks everyone for joining in on the Ant-Man and the Wasp episode of the Countdown to Doomsday, where we are committed to keep on reviewing Marvel stuff until Avengers Doomsday hits, and then we'll have to check out what happens in Secret Wars, obviously, as well.
What's next?
That's the real Doomsday, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I believe next we are having to take another trip back in time for a little pit stop in the 90s, which is my area of expertise.
I mean, I was there for it, but
Yeah, but I've got all the nostalgia for this. But yeah, we're going to Captain Marvel. We can see what that pager was all about at the end of Infinity War.
yes. Yeah, I'm gonna bore the shit out of you with my knowledge on Captain Marvel.
And
Just gonna put that out there.
and I love this movie, so it's going to be a very positive episode. I feel like it's going to
I
be a lot of
feel like
love
it
shared.
because this one is just and I don't think it's the movie's fault. I just think it's terrible timing off the back of what we've just watched.
Yeah, and it's yeah, like and there's like I was saying, the stuff is just crammed at the end, like the
Yeah,
stuff that links to anything going forward. Yeah.
yeah. But hey,
Hey
let-
ho.
let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go to Captain
Let's fucking
Marvel.
go.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.